So tell me about the time when you started to um, develop your songwriting gift.
Mm,
I know you've worked with, Troy Taylor. Tell me about leading up to that, because that's not an easy thing. I mean, I'm a songwriter. I've submitted to Troy Taylor. I've submitted to these people. So give some of us some, no pointers, no,
yeah,
give us some of your story, because it's really interesting, because you had a lot of success behind the scenes as a songwriter. So I'm
yeah,
surprised that the label you were with um, didn't know what to do with you. Just let him do what he does, is what I would
yeah.
say. But
I mean, honestly, I think that I mean, even like in the cultivation of songwriting, it's a lot of trial and error, right?
mhm,
It's a lot of just like, okay, you got to figure out like what you sound like as far as like from a lyrical standpoint, how that
mhm,
can be penetrated into other people's lives, being able to be the chameleon, being able to adapt. Um, it's so much to it, you know what I mean? And it's a ever like evolving process as a writer. Um, but like starting off, it was a thing where it was like, yo, I'm gonna make songs because I love it. And then after a while, you're trying to match up songs um to what you play in the car. It becomes a competitive thing to say, can I make a song that Tank would do on Sex, Love, and Pain? You know what I mean? And then there's a withdrawal that comes from that, right? So I felt like that was my rinky dink version of what Tank would do on Sex, Love, and Pain. And so those kind of records and you emulating and being inspired and building these worlds, you just after a while, after hundreds and hundreds of records, you create formulas for yourself to say, oh, okay, this sounds like I could go here, or I could do this, or this needs a big hook, this needs more of a simple hook, this is more of like a one word takeaway that just, the one word hit a quitter joint, so it's so many different routes that you could go. And I discovered that through trial and error. So by the time that I got to Troy, I was just a wild card. You know what I mean? Like,
mhm.
so no one knew what to expect in the sense of like what they were going to get from me from a song perspective. And it wasn't until him just kind of being like, change that pre, that hook needs to be stronger. I
Mm,
don't, that subject matter is not strong enough. Um,
mm,
You know what I mean? Like he'll, if you have something like even if whatever, he'll just be like, okay, change this, change that. And he's not one to really talk to you like and break it down in a science. Like
right,
he ain't that guy. Like he'll
right.
he'll tell you one thing and he'll leave the room. And you just gotta call him when you're ready and be like, hey, can you listen to this? And no matter how many times he'll be like, nope, that ain't it. And you be like, damn. Like, call me when you get
Mhm,
it. Hey, come here. Nope, that ain't it. But the cool thing with Troy was it was a great training ground because of the fact that the industry is not like that, right? And even though his method is not like, sit you down and talk you through the process, it's still more forgiving than the actual music business. Because in the music business, all you got is one shot. All you got is 15 to 30 seconds. When they hear that record and be like, all right, am I into it? Nah, that's whack. They ain't gonna call you back. The A&R ain't gonna be like, yo, I like the verse, but can you change the pre-hook and the hook or this and that? Like most A&Rs now aren't built for that, right? They built to understand what people are gravitating towards. So their job is a lot easier that they could look on SoundCloud to say, okay, they're getting these amount of streams and plays. I ain't
right,
gotta, they ain't gotta understand the music. They only have to understand that there is a base and there is a crowd or audience that get it. So they like, all right, well, they got this crowd, and just imagine with this money, what we could do. And you know what I mean?
right.
So the music industry is not forgiving in the sense of when you play songs, right? So Troy at least gives you enough time and space to make the corrections so that when you're sitting there in front of a Tony or a Tank or whomever, because you can always have a Troy Taylor in your ear to be like, Nope, don't do that. Nope, that's not good. Nope. You were like, yeah, it's not good. Let me go ahead and change that real quick right now, because those are the moments that matter, right? It's just like, when boxers train, they train every goddamn day. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Football players, basketball players, athletes, they train every day.
Yeah.
For, you know what I mean? For a particular game, or, even like Olympians, they train for like literally a couple weeks out of 4 years. And maybe, the Winter Olympics, so every 2 years or whatever the case may be. But all of those training moments, all of those exercises, all of those routines are for a defining moment.
Right.
And that, to me, was my training with Troy, was to prepare myself for the defining moments when I'm sitting there and I can't say, oh, my bad, Mr. Quincy Jones, I'm having a bad night. My bad, Mr. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
Yes.
Like, nobody wants to hear that you're having a bad night, right? So what the skill sets that you develop is you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to say, okay, this didn't work, but let me try this. Let me figure out different ways, right? And it's your willingness, right? Who's willing to do a song over and over again, right? We heard the infamous story of Pharrell Williams and Happy. You know what I mean? He sent it into the studio. They gave him the job, remember, to do the theme song for this actual Despicable Me movie. And he had to submit it 9 times, 9 different songs. So, and it's Pharrell Williams. So he's already successful. He's a goddamn multi-millionaire.
Yes.
He's telling somebody that's that successful, nope, that ain't it. Nope, that ain't it. Somebody with an ego like that would have gave up by song 3. You know what? Nah, this ain't for me. Nah, I'm good. If y'all don't understand what I'm trying to do, I like this. I'm Pharrell Williams. I done sold hundreds of millions of records. I know what I'm doing. But he was humble enough, and he had somebody, i.e. Teddy Riley, to tell him, nope, do it again. Nope, do it again. Nope, do it again. Nope, do it again. You develop this callous in you to say, a relentless, like, if you're giving me a chance to do it over, which is very rare in the music industry, I'm going to take that chance. I'm going to take that shot. If you telling me it ain't it, but you want me to do it again, there's something there. And I'm going to keep trying at it until I get it. And
one thing I like, sorry to cut you off. What I'm noticing, even just hearing from you, you are a product of great mentorship, and you had great people. It seems a strong father, strong, mentors in your life, musically and spiritually, that have sharpened you and passed on wisdom and made you a very strong and intelligent and shrewd businessman. So, it's so great to see. This is what I want our audience to see is, an artist that, this is the difference in an artist that actually is seasoned and ready for the business. We've seen recently a lot of other artists of today on the Twitter complaining about their record deals, wanted to quit. And you have been able to endure all these bumps in the road and capitalized off of the success, that you've accumulated over the years. With your prior label, you were able to be released and actually capitalize on that. So you've had a lot of smart moves, and so it leads me to my next question. Now that you're the boss, basically, and of course you have a great team of people that are probably, experienced, knowledgeable, but now that you're the boss, how do you find time for the creative? Because a lot of times you lose the passion for the creative or the music when you're involved in the numbers and the strategies and, the realities of the business and the long nights of, hashing out deals and waiting. So how do you keep that passion for the music, that creativity, when you carve out time to actually write songs? So you're writing too, you're producing. So,
I mean, just like in a relationship, you got to make time for it, right? Like, if you don't make time for it, time is going to pass you by. You're going to allow anything to take you away from what you love. And so for me, I always make time for it. I always tell my team that, January and February is usually the months where I go and I create. You know what I mean? And whatever I come out with within those 2 months is then we're on full attack mode for the next year or 2 years of the music that I created from out of that. But I need that time. I'll take interviews, I'll take certain shows, I'll take gigs or whatever the case may be. But outside of that, I'm fully dedicating my time and my life to what I love. And yeah, sometimes when you are in the seat and the boss of, of your business, it can get a little mundane, and you start to feel like you're getting removed from the actual magic of the music. But then you have to understand there's a bigger play at hand, right? So no matter like what the streams look like, and I've been extremely blessed within my indie career. It's been 2.5 years and we've done over 60 million streams, and which it may not mean a lot to anybody else, but I always think about, I started at zero.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
You know what I mean? So that's, to me, I look at that to say, in those 2 years, somebody's listening to the music. You know what I mean? And so, I'm not getting into my business mind because it was going to take me there. But needless to say, is you got to make time for it. No matter what is going on, like you have to make it your business to say, even if it's an hour, 2 hours, just to like sit there and say, I'm going to sort through these drums. I'm going to write something good or bad. We're going to do something tonight because of the fact that I said that I was going to, right? Like,
right.
So to me, that's the most important part of it. And so it's not just a product, but it's also, I'm realizing, it's a soundtrack to people's lives. People really make memories and moments from out of that. And so it's you know what I mean? It's not even a gift and a curse. Like, these are two blessings that it's like, yo, I have the responsibility to make really good music and memories for people, but then also I can make a really good living out of this as well, because I understand what I'm worth and I understand how much the dollar is, the power of the dollar within the music business and how to move it. There's nothing better than that. And so I take the time and I sacrifice it because it's worth it. The people deserve the music, and my team deserves for us to be profitable.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe and turn on your notification. But better still, check out our membership where you can get to watch these videos from day one, as well as our monthly meetings when we get to meet up and talk with myself and the rest of the people who are members, but also some exclusive interviews which I don't get to broadcast. But thanks for watching and hope to see you soon.